I'm not going to try to be loud. Husband is sleeping. He is working very long hours thanks to this controversial diseasal virus thingamajiggy that is going on. Which we're not going to talk about the virus that is going on, which that's giving me a migraine as is, which I've been suffering with for 4 or 5 days. Gotta love having migraines. Now, as the title said, I'm going to talk about witches, vampires, werewolves, fairies, other supernatural beings. Um, I had a video like this uploaded previously and I took it down. It had to deal with a very controversial topic and I took it off. And because it had to do with some topics that I didn't want on the channel no more because I was getting harassed, and I took it off to remove the harassed issues. And I said, you know what, it's time that I educate some people because there's some issues going on. So if this whole coronavirus thing goes away, I need to educate some people because there's some very common misconceptions dealing with, the whole vampirism, witchcraft, werewolves, fairies, and some of the topics I won't dive too deep into it because it's one of those things that I can give some truth on it, but some truths are better left unknown, and some truths are better that, there's nothing wrong with giving some truth of the nature. Now, with witches, now labels are, made my screen go this number. um, Labels are a fickle thing, but if you do decide to label yourself, there's nothing wrong with it. Now, me, I'm glad to give myself the label of a witch because it's a woman or a male that decided to learn to harness their energy and how to work with their energy and knows how to cast out their energy and knows how to set it forth and knows how to target it outwards. Um, we work with the earth, we work with nature. Nature is our church. Um, you have some that are pagan, you have some that are Wiccan. There's, it's like church. You have so many off branch. You have your Catholic, you have your Christian, you have your Judaic Christian, you have your Southern Baptist. I don't understand why you need so many different branches. I don't understand why we all just can't be pagan and be happy. Um, it's really just like, but teach their own. Okay. I don't mutilate animals. Okay. I don't do dark magic all the time. Me, I balance because nature is both light and dark, and people don't understand how to do that, and people don't understand how to pay it forward. That's a whole nother article of a whole nother topic, and I'm not going to go into it because people don't understand the true way of magic, and so they go to the Wiccan verse or the neo pagan or this, that, and the other. And if they want to do that, fine. Me, I understand how to delegate in between light and dark because that is how nature is, and I know how to work that. So I don't have to sit there and sugarcoat bull crap. Vampirism. Me, myself, I am also part vampire. People are like, well, how are you a witch and how are you a vampire? Well, that's where they came up with different things of vampirism, like Elizabeth Bathory, Vlad the Impaler. Um, people that did horrendous murders back in the day, like Vlad, he impaled people so he would be more horrific, so people wouldn't go to war with him. He wanted to seem very vicious. And Elizabeth Bathory, she led herself to believe by different rumors because she wanted to be more beautiful. She heard that bathing in virgin blood would, give her tightened skin. It would, make her skin softer. It would stop the appearance of aging. It would give her immortality. There's just so many different things in history that it's you don't have to go through that. Now, I'm not going to go too far in because there's a lot of ignorance dealing with vampirism. And to be a true vampire, you don't really have to drink blood. You don't really have to have sex to be a vampire. There is a whole lot of sexual, methodical things going around. That's where a lot of true vampires get pissed because a lot of people, they think it's all over sexually hyped. Same thing with witchcraft. They always sexually overhype witchcraft, vampirism. Sometimes sex is involved, but things like true blood and all this other crap, people think that we're always out fucking. Pardon the expression. That's why I do live, because I don't have to bleep, 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 bleep. That's why I do, I don't want to monitor my stuff, and I don't think I should. And these TV shows, people think that's how all vampires behave, that's how all witches behave. No, we don't always have to have, sex to draw essence, sex to, feed. We don't always have to drink blood to feed. I don't always have to have, sex to draw, magic to do a casting. No, I don't have to do that. And common misconceptions, like where I am in Texas, there's quite a few vampire covens in Texas where I'm at that is actually giving vampires a very bad name, that the way that they're behaving is causing a lot of very bad buzz, and it's making a lot of people look really bad. And there's a lot of them messing around with people younger than they're supposed to. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, that it's really idiotical. You don't have to do all this stuff. And, people look at me, they're like, well, you're not that attractive. You're fat. You're this, like my stalker. To stalk someone, you're obsessed. To harass someone, you're obsessed. So evidently, I'm not that ugly. I'm not that fat if you're bothering me. So, no, I know I'm not ugly. Yes, I need to lose weight. I used to model. I'm working on that. I'm going to get my teeth fixed. Okay, I do have some issues with my appearance, but I've had health concerns. I've had other issues. Now, how they depict vampires, witches, and different things like that in the media, they're always these skinny little bimbo looking things, and they always have big boobs, or they're always these six-pack sexy looking things with pale skin and these long things. Honey, no, they don't always look like that, just to let you know. And it's a headache because they think that they always look like this. And it's a social media craze, and it's a headache. And no, they don't always look like that. Some are just looking like your basic average person. They don't, you can cross someone that's actually in a business suit and they look like like a lawyer. You can cross a lawyer, Lord and behold, they could be a witch. You can cross, award-winning chef, vampire, and you wouldn't even think about it. And they're very much, a lot of them don't even embrace it out in the public eye. They don't say it on their Facebook. They don't say it on their Instagram because a lot of them are still in the closet. And it's not that they're hiding. It's just that they don't feel that they should have to be in the public eye because a lot of them feel that how the media, fan fictions, everything, and there's so many fakes out there, like the ones that we have a lot of fakes here in Texas, a lot, and how they over fictionize everything. It's a headache, and it's a social headache. And like myself, I'm very open about, being a witch and about being a vampire, and I'm not ashamed of it, but there's certain truths that I won't say because I'm not trying to educate the ones that ain't. Now, my students underneath me that I know that are eager to learn, that are not going to go out and be showboating and be like, I'm a vampire, I'm a witch, oh my God. I'll teach them that are not like that. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of those ones here in Texas that I would really like taking a big bite out of them and drain the living hell out of them. And if I ever cross the path of these ones, I probably will. I would probably drain their ever living essence out of them and just watch them dwindle down to ash if I could. If they would turn to ash, but knowing my luck, they probably wouldn't. They'll probably just sit there, can you do it again? Because anyone I've ever fed off of, they get high. It's a very much of a high, and everybody enjoys me feeding off of them. And people that were they challenged me thinking I was, playing. When I fed off anyone, they get a spark. They get really hyper at first, and then they go home and have the best sleep that they've ever had, So, and I do it, I feed, and then sometimes I store it, like I store it in my crystals. And then, like, if I need a boost later, like if I'm not feeling good, if I need it for a spell, if I needed to help somebody else, I give them, like, I walk past someone and I shock them. And I give them a boost, like if I feel someone else that needs it. Just because I'm a vampire doesn't mean I'm a negative vampire. I'm a witch too. And if I feel someone that I know it's suffering, because I'm also a healer, like if I see someone that I know that's really down and out, and I have my stuff stored, I have my stuff stored, and I see someone having a really down and out day, I'll start rubbing my crystal and my pentagram, and I'll walk past them and I'll like nudge them or I'll slip past them, and all of a sudden they'll perk up and they're just like, what the hell just happened? And then they'll start having like the best week, the best month, and people are like, well, why do you have this ability? I was born with it. And there's people that if they learn how to harness it, people all have an ability. It's just that certain people don't deserve to have that ability because certain people have a darkness in them. And if people that had a darkness in them had this kind of ability, it would be scary what they could do with it. So I'm glad not everybody is able to how to harness this ability, because it would be a scary thing. I mean, like when I first came in this gift, I have hurt people and I have been punished for it. I have gotten severely sick to where I've almost died. So I've learned my lesson. I help more people than I hurt. I've actually healed people where they've damn near been on their deathbed. So I do more good with my abilities than I do harm. So I think that I'm trying to pay back from the harm that I've done, and my vampirism, I do that with. So I take energy from those that waste their energy on bullshit, to be honest. I do not feed from alcoholics. I do not feed from drug addicts. I refuse. I used to feed from them, and it made me sick, very sick. That's why I look the way I do now. It had made me very ill because they were wasting their energy. It's like they didn't care. So I fed from them, and I'm living to regret it. I try to feed from people that are just like really pipper and hyper, and I'm like, okay, they got a little bit more energy, so I just take a pinch, and they don't miss it. I'm hyperactive anyway. I have more energy to burn. I just take a little bit that they won't notice that they're missing. And if I could be like I want to, I could take a whole fistful and they wouldn't notice they're missing it. They'll just go home, sleep good, and wake up refreshed in the morning like nothing ever happened. And they'd be like, "Oh my God, that's the best sleep I ever had, man. I need that sleep. Whatever happened? I don't know what I did yesterday, but I need to repeat that." I'd be like the best Tylenol PM anybody ever had in their life. And I've been called that before. From the people that know that I can do this ability, I've been called that. And I'm not trying to get called that no more. Werewolves. Yes, there is such a thing as werewolves. Now, they do not shapeshift. Back in the day with Native American ancestors, I know people are going to dog. Please don't. They would do things in sweat lodges, and it was a part of growth, understanding. Yes, it was mixed with drugs, peyote, different things. But nowadays we do have them, but it's like a guardian. Okay, the ones nowadays, they are guardians. They are very animalistic. You can see the shift in their eyes. Okay, there is an animal in there. Okay, don't think that there's not. Now, when I say you can see a beast beneath the skin, you can. Hey, baby, I'll be there in a minute. Now, they're not going to rip your throat out and eat you, just to let you know. They are, for one, there as a guardianship, as a protector, as someone that they are an alpha protector. They are someone that has very strong family values. They are someone that is a very hard worker. They are diligent. They like nature. There's someone that normally likes hiking. They like being out, like playing in trees, playing in mud. Like if you see Jason Momoa, he's a werewolf. Okay, okay. You see him, that is an hour-a-day werewolf. Jason Momoa is a werewolf. That is what you see as a werewolf. And so it's not someone that you see as bad. So I don't want people thinking it's something horrible. It is someone that you look up to as a strong father figure, someone that has very strong morals, someone that is someone honorable. Like if you see a wolf pack together, it is someone that you would look to for leadership, someone that has a lot of, caring, kind, very charismatic, has a lot of charisma. So werewolves are very much alive and they do exist, and it's very strong in Native American, rights, and mostly a lot of people that have that in them. Most of them do have Native American genes in them, and him being Samoan or Samoan, the Polynesian, they are part of Native American. They're Native American Islanders. So anybody that has part of Native American traits, it's something that has been passed on through the bloodline. It's a guardian. It's a guardian totem, and it's something that has been passed on. So it's someone that has guarded like the tribemen. So it's someone that looks out for the tribe. So people that are normally tend to have the werewolf, the beast underneath the skin, is someone that looks out for a pack, someone that looks out for their friends, their family, and it's a very strong trait. So for your information, werewolves do exist, and it's not something to be scared of. It's not someone to put within a cage. It's not something to try to change within a man. It's something to honor. And there is other men that are not Native American that do have that in them. I've known some Italian men that do have that, which is very wild. One of my friends had it in him, but he kind of dormanted his, but he was actually really cool. But I've met quite a few, and they are very intriguing. They are very gentle men, but once you stir that wolf in them, you'll regret it, because you'll start you can almost see the hair starting to stand up, and then you're like, I'm sorry. You want to hide in a corner. So I highly tell you, do not piss off one. You will live to regret it, because you want to hide in every little corner that you can find. You want to hide underneath the table. You just want to get them the biggest, juiciest steak, cooked medium, and just be like, offering, offering. So yes, they do exist. Do dragons exist? Yes, they do. Um, they're called lizards nowadays. They're much smaller, and we have Komodo dragons, which are the actual embodiment of a smaller dragon, but dragons were real. So there are a lot of things that they try to tell us that are not real, that are actually real.
But things are part of history. They are most likely real.
Yes. Fays, are they real? Yes. Fairies and fays are real. I hate to tell you. Now, do they do things like they tell you in fiction? No. They can heal you. A lot of people that you come across that are fae, they are very gentle people. They have an aura unlike anybody else. Most people that are fae or fairy, most of them go into the doctor field that are natural fairy, but they have a very unique bedside manner. They are very kind. They are very sweet. They have this uncanny ability to actually get you better quicker than anybody. They have this weird thing about natural medicine almost. They know the quickest way to get you better in almost an instant manner that no other doctor knows how to get you better. No other nurse knows how to get you better. It is uncanny. And I'm not trying to expose our kind to anybody, but a lot of us do exist. You have to understand Irish, Scottish, Dutch folklore, it wouldn't be really, it's not really lore. It's more truth that they bred into human society. They're not really as small like Tinkerbell. It's not like that. Like leprechauns, they really do exist, but they're really short men. They really were like, they really, really were short, grumpy men, obsessed with greed, obsessed with, they were like shoe men. There's a lot of different things, and their greed had turned them into something else much darker. I have Irish roots, so my grandfather had taught me a lot of different things from his family coming from Ireland, and different things that I have learned. I know a lot of stuff about deep history and things that I've dove into that I've actually studied. So a lot of things I'm sharing, people are like, oh my God, she's crazy. Actually, no, I'm not. These are things that I feel in my bones, people that I've actually met, that I've actually see auras, and I've met people that are actually that way, that we've had this weird connection that it's just unbelievable, that you're just sitting there like, oh my God, really? And there's no other rhyme nor reason, and they're just drawn. And it's just like, okay, cool. And like I said, with the leprechauns, they were actually cursed, because see, with their greed, they actually got cursed by Irish witches, because they would constantly steal. They would steal from families, and they would actually be mean to other families. Hey, dude, what's up, Christopher? And they would actually miss people. So the Irish witches, you have to understand, Irish witches, those are ones you do not want to cross, because they were actually, at that time, Irish witch, they were very dark. And you piss off an Irish witch, they have no qualm of cursing your ass like that. So once they cursed the leprechaun, that's when the darkness from the leprechaun really came in, because like I said, they started off as a very short man, and their greed, their thievery, because they originally were people that were doing shoes, like the shoes, building the shoes with the buckles and different things like that. And they were obsessed with money. And then when they got cursed by the witches of the Ireland, um, things started, getting really twisted. And then that's when they started making the folklore tales about the rainbows, the pot of gold, and different things like that. It started getting twisted over the years. Um, Now, with the other stories, like with basic superstitions and things like that, some superstitions are true, some are just made up. Um, Let me try to think of some of the other ones. Banshees, yes, they do exist. Willing banshees. I've actually crossed air spirits. Sirens and banshees are very much real. I'm not gonna tell you how I know, but I know they're real. Being, like I said, I have Irish. I wouldn't cross paths. No. That I have those roots. My grandpa was scared of banshees. He was scared of sirens. So, and my grandfather very much believed in mermaids. He even said he saw mermaids. He even saw Nessie. And I was like, what the freak? So, I've even seen things that I couldn't explain. So, it makes your mind wonder how much in history we've been lied to, how much that there is to uncover, and, how much have they really, really lied to us. And hang on a minute. I'm getting pinged. I gotta lower this down. Hang on a minute. And what I was talking about earlier, I got off the topic with the werewolves. Now, when the tribesmen would go in, so I can explain it a little bit more. When they would go into the sweat lodges and they would smoke the peyote and different things, and when they would go on their vision quest, they would do this with all the men that would become of age. And they were giving them those totems. At that time, when they would see the men taking different shapes, they would see them take the shape of the bear, of men transforming into other creatures had started coming in. And a lot of the white men misunderstood that, where they heard the stories of from the natives and they thought we were savages, because they would hear, oh, those stupid Indians out there smoking their peyote and their poppy seeds and all this other stuff, talking about their shape shifting and they're being stoned off their asses. And they don't understand that when they're doing that, they weren't, I mean, yeah, they probably did enjoy smoking peyote. I've never tried it and I ain't going to, because I only like CBD and cannabis. I only go on vision quest by staring into candles, and I know how to do that with meditation. I don't need hallucinogenics for that. I don't know why my ancestors needed hallucinogenics. They evidently were doing it wrong. They should have knew how. Shamans should have taught them how to do it without it, but evidently they like chasing the dragon in a different form. But anyway, but evidently they felt that at that time they were seeing other ancestors beforehand, and weirdly enough, it explained a lot of things, because white man could never explain how they always knew things beforehand. They saw things before it would happen, and white man can never explain it. But natives knew things way before they did. They knew before war was going to happen, and they weren't getting messages from them. They knew different things about the seasons. They knew many things. And they could blame it on 100 different things, but natives were well equipped with different things, with communicating with ancestors, praying to different deities and everything. So, and I'm not saying go out and buy a whole bunch of peyote and go talk to your ancestors. Don't do that. Y'all gonna be out there stoned off your asses and tripping, and oh my God, no. Do not do that. But they knew what they were doing, because the shamans had taught them. They knew what they were doing. They understood everything, because they had been doing it for millennials before they didn't abuse it. They knew what they were doing. And evidently, they knew how to decipher certain things. So when they did their rites of passage and they were teaching and they were seeing who was taking what totem, and then they saw the totem and then they would sleep, that's what they would do. So that's how they came to pass about that. And then white man would come up with their crazy stories about the shape shifting and man, turning into werewolf, and then man turning into the bird. And then they came up with the weird stories about the wasp lady and all this other stuff. I'm like, oh my God, the weird stories they came up with and the horror stories. I'm like, oh my God, really? So, I'm trying to think. Now, chupacabra. Is a chupacabra real? Absolutely. Now, is it a failed experiment? It possibly could be. When I go to church, the priest said that I could talk to ghosts and spirits. Actually, you probably can, Christopher. And you know what? It's kind of crazy that the priest told you that, because most priests would actually tell you that you were possessed. And I always predicted what would happen. That's actually really cool. And that's actually kind of cool, like I said, because anybody that I would talk to when I was going to church and I said that kind of stuff to anybody in church, they would actually freak out. So you actually were lucky that you had someone that was open-minded like that when you were there, because I didn't have anybody open-minded like that. A few minutes before. Okay, Christopher. That didn't make sense, sweetie. That did not make sense. Reread what you just typed. That did not make sense. A few minutes before I'm years. You're typing like I am, dude. That's supposed to be the way I'm talking. You're not supposed to talk like me. You're supposed to leave that up to the video person, not the other way around. I'm not making fun of you. I'm making fun of myself. I talk bad. I get bumfuddled up all the time. My typing ability is horrid. People are like, what the freak is she talking about? And I read what I wrote and I'm like, oh my God, did I just really type that? I'm like, yep, I just typed that. I just shot myself in the foot. Like, I need to get some sleep. Okay, while you're still typing or reading. But conversations mom and me used to have was about chupacabra, Bigfoot. Okay, I'm still misunderstanding. Or a few minutes before or years. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay. Now I get what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. That's a very good, you have like a good clairvoyancy. That's actually really good. And you need to keep that in practice. You need to meditate more. The more you meditate, the more powerful that will get. So keep practicing your meditation, because the more you meditate, the more that you'll keep your mind within that ability, and the more you exercise it. Because that's why I tell everybody meditation is key to harnessing that ability. And the more you exercise your mind in that ability, the stronger it gets. So you want to keep exercising your mind, because the more you unlock it, the stronger it gets. So your mind is the most strongest one, and you want to exercise it as much as possible. Yes, autocorrect, man. Autocorrect is a dick. I hate autocorrect. It helps me sometimes because I can't spell, but then at other times I'm like, throw the phone clear across the house. Then I'm like, shit, I need that. I'm trying to go, like, I look like I'm like a dog. I'm throwing the phone and I'm trying to go catch it myself. Mom's like, what are you trying to do? I'm bored. I'm trying to catch my own phone. Don't ask. I know, huh, Roman? The cat's talking. He's like, yeah, she does. It's pretty bad the cat rats on you. Yeah, but when you definitely have clairvoyancy, psychic abilities, or anything like that, meditation is good, even though some of them, they feel that, it's just there. It'll always be there. They don't have to worry about doing anything with it, that they'll always have it there forever. But like, even now, I knew this coronavirus was going to happen. And I'm not going to say why or how. But based, and I know people are going to be like, oh my God. During the impeachment, I know this is going to be bad. Based on something Donald Trump said, I told my mom, I told my boys, something bad's going to happen. I need y'all to be ready. I have a bad feeling something's going to come our way. And I said, watch. We're going to have a bad disease warfare come to America. I'm telling y'all. And I told them I knew something was going to come. And it's not that I'm trying to dog or say anything, but Trump said something, and I was like, I hope they get this son of a bitch out of office. He's in office right now. They didn't impeach him. And I was like, yeah, we're all and he said, we're going to regret it. When they were talking about impeaching him, he said, y'all are going to regret this. Yep. And the coronavirus wasn't going around at that time. And I'm not saying this because I know I made this video about witches and all that, but I'm just bringing this up because my gift was tingling at that moment. And I told my boys, and I told my husband, I told my mom, I need y'all to sit close. I need y'all to be ready because something in my gut is telling me right now something bad's going to happen. And I'm not, I know people are, there's a lot of people that is for this pain in the butt president that we have. I've never liked the man. That's my right. People can like him. That's fine. But the man didn't even want to get tested. His own daughter, she did the right thing. She locked herself up because she came in contact with a person that had the virus. She locked herself up and she tested positive. So she did the right thing. When he first was talking, he sounded fine for a while. He sounds sick, but yet he's shaking hands with people. I thought it was funny with one of the governors. He elbow bumped him. He didn't even want to touch him. He should be isolating himself right now, but he's not. I feel he's ground zero for patient here in America. He's ground patient zero, but he won't stop. And it's spreading like wildfire. And now it's raining here in Texas. And I'm like, I don't even want to step foot outside my house right now. And I'm freaking out. And I'm like, are you kidding? And it's like, and I want it to rain. I love rain. But I'm like, and it might spread because it's raining. And I'm like, so yeah, it freaks me out. To me, it feels like chemical warfare. Not chemical, but disease warfare. But it is what it is. And I just hope everybody's going to be okay. But back on topic after that. Do I think Bigfoot's real? I do believe so. I think it's a failed cloned experiment because they've been trying to clone people for a long time. I think it's a failed clone experiment. I think it was a human that came out really hairy and escaped. So I think, yes, Bigfoot is definitely real. It's like a 6 foot, 7 foot tall male that escaped from Area 51. So, yes, I think Bigfoot is definitely real. And Chupacabra, I think, is also a failed cloned experiment that they're trying to. I know people are going to think I'm crazy, but this is not like a conspiracy theory. This is me knowing that they have been trying to create the perfect super soldiers for a while. Soldiers that they can control themselves so they don't have to send human soldiers over to fight. And I know this is like dealing with supernatural, so this is on topic. I know people are gonna be thinking this is crazy, but I wanted to share this. Like chupacabra, they can feed it blood, they can feed it meat, raw meat, and they could go over there and they could send it, and it could pray at night, and it could kill whoever they need it to kill. Bigfoot, it hasn't killed nobody yet because it escaped, so they didn't know what it was capable of. Loch Ness, I think it's actually an underwater dragon that's been asleep and it woke up after a while because of the earthquakes and everything and different things. And finally, the earth shifted and it woke up after so long. What else? Let me think of all the different things that I can go through. Aliens, most definitely. But this is one thing I want to think, I want everybody to wrap their minds around. What would an alien, angel, demon actually be? An alien and a demon would actually be an alien. They would be something that would be alien to our planet because they wouldn't be. So I actually go against calling them, I sometimes call them alien and demon because I was raised so much in church. I sometimes say, oh, because you were in it for so long. But hi, uh, um, okay. I got a comment that I'm not going to approve, and I'm going to give you advice. I'm not going to approve that comment. Okay, Kai, I'm not going to approve that comment. I'm going to keep it hidden. Okay? I will give you advice. Okay? You need to seek help, honey. Okay? Because something like that is something you definitely need to get help for. I'm serious because that's something is not normal, and that's something you definitely need to seek help for. Because something like that, if you embrace something like that, that would be not good. Because you start off small and then you would work up bigger because that's how it normally starts. So you would definitely there's free clinics, sweetheart. You can go to any free clinic, ask for help. So you can go there, talk to them, and they can start helping you there. Because I had depression. I mean, that's how I started. And they can start getting you help there, and they can start getting you medicated. Um, yeah, definitely you want to seek help. And if they tell you that Okay. I'm hiding that. Okay. Woo. Sweetheart, you definitely need to seek help. Okay, and know that. Okay, sweetheart, instead of being online, okay, and I'm going to tell you something right now. You need to turn yourself over to like the mental health, okay? And if they want to hospitalize you, let them hospitalize you. Because doing something like that, I don't think killing yourself is going to help anything. Because honestly, that's not going to help anybody. Okay, killing yourself is never the answer. And, you know, that right there is an easy way out for anybody. And I would never suggest that to anybody, not even somebody that is messed up completely. Sweetie, look, I'm gonna put it to you this way, okay? If you feel something's in your head telling you to do something wrong, then you need to. Um, okay, look, me, like I said, I'm pagan. Okay, I do both good and I do both sides. Okay, and me knowing that, and I'm sitting here telling you yourself, I wouldn't kill a kid. I wouldn't go try to kill an animal. Okay, and I would actually castigate someone that would be doing something bad towards a child. And I'm sitting here telling you that you need to seek help ASAP.
What's going on?
Okay. No, it's nothing bad. They're asking for advice. So I understand. Look, you have to understand. I have friends that are in the Brotherhood of Satan, and they would tell you the same thing. I have very close friends in the Brotherhood of Satan. And this is me telling you this straight up. I have Satanist friends. They don't behave this way. And they wouldn't stalk children. They wouldn't kill animals. And they don't behave this way. A lot of them, it's they do it for artist work. They do it for different things like this. They don't behave that way. So how you're behaving, it's illness and you need to seek help like ASAP. That's what I'm telling you right now. There's something wrong inside because it's not something evil in your head telling you something like that, sweetheart. Okay, it's something else because it's not correct. And I'm not just saying that because it's freaking me out. I'm telling you that because I've been in this lifestyle for a very long time. I've been doing this for a very long time. I've been out as a witch since I was 12. But you thought about it. So, um, going to church might actually cause you more harm than good. Um, if you want to seek church, you can. I mean, it might help you out, but it might just torch the fire more for you, to be honest. Um, or, honestly, seeking the medical help might help you to kill yourself. You did the plans already, is what you're telling me? From what I feel, gods and goddesses to me are real. The ones that I actually call and talk to, they answer me. Um, when I called upon Jesus myself, I don't know if he listens to anybody else, but when I called upon him, he didn't answer me for shit. So I don't know if he listens to anybody else, but he didn't listen to me. He may listen to you. To be honest, he didn't do shit for me. And I'm not saying he might not. Maybe I am a heathen bastard for all I know. Um, he just didn't hear me. So when I pray to the gods and goddesses and I do good, I don't hurt nobody. I've actually helped a lot of people. And believe me, I do a lot of good. I don't hurt nobody. And it's the most peace I've found. So the whole time I was in church, all I did was feel evil. I felt evil within the church. And I'm not talking about just regular evil, I'm talking about evil. So, but I'm not trying to mislead you. Okay. If you find peace within it, if you find a good church, go for it. What's right for me might not be right for you. I mean, there's two different dualities for everybody else. You know, there's duality for me, there's duality for you. It might work for you, it might not have worked for me. So you can try to see if it works for you. You know, it might balance you out. But for me, it didn't do me nothing. All it did is I found loopholes. I found shit that didn't make sense. I found loopholes in the Bible. I mean, I asked them questions that they couldn't answer. All they um you're welcome. Weirdest conversation, but okay. um okay. Don't know how to respond to that, guys. I don't know if I'm being pranked again or what. Um, it seems that every time I try to do something dealing with education or updating different things, weirdness happens. Um, this was one of the weirdness. Don't know how to respond. It kind of caught me off because I was talking about something totally different. I was talking about angels, demons, and aliens, and then this happened. Um, but yeah, how I feel aliens are, I was gonna say, is when I watched the movie The Fourth Kind, it gave me another opinion dealing with how I see angels and demons and aliens, because thinking about the different races, how they say there's different races of aliens. Well, there's so many different angels, supposedly, and there's so many different demons. Well, supposedly, maybe they all look different. So, to me, maybe there's different ones of aliens. So, maybe that's what it is. I really don't think there's angels and demons. I think they're all aliens. And we're lied to by our government. So, like when I watch Ancient Aliens, I think there's more truth in that, being what I am. And that's why it's kind of hard for me to answer the questions I was just posed to. Because honestly, when I was in church, when I said I felt the most evil, it was true. Because everybody was busy judging everybody in church. And, you know, when I read the Bible, there were scriptures in there telling me that Christians, for one, are supposed to be each other's testaments, that they're supposed to be each other's teachers, that we're supposed to look up to one another, like the older ones are supposed to be our teachers, that we're supposed to look up to them as they're supposed to teach us, like parents. And every single one of them I looked at were flawed, that none of them knew anything about the Bible, that none of them knew how to behave correctly. So why should I look to them to teach me how to live my life? Why should I go to church? Because none of them knew anything about the Bible, that the whole entire thing was contradictory. I mean, it was true. But when I went to nature, everything was right there in front of my face. Everything was implicit. Everything was true and raw. There was no lies. The goddesses and goddesses, gods and goddesses paid it. Gods and goddesses paved it right in front of my face. You know, the laws of man knew nothing about that. The Bible stripped some of the laws from pagan and just reworded our own laws. And it sickened me that they are supposed to walk around with this holy light of God, but yet all I seen was this darkness when I saw them. That I see all these videos with all these Christian people walking through Target, Walmart, yelling at people, hissing at people, screaming at people, throwing their Bibles at people, cussing at people, and not even behaving correctly. But yet they tell you don't judge them, don't live your life based upon them. But it says in the Bible, you're supposed to live your life. They're supposed to influence you. That you're supposed to look to them and learn from them. So I'm supposed to live my life based upon them? It doesn't make sense. It's very conflicting. And this video is not controversy in any. It's just explaining my own conflict that I had, and then this whole conversation. It seems that I can never make a video sometimes without having some sort of moral conflict. And the reason why I held some of the comments back, because this person did have some spooky ooky things said, which YouTube will see these comments. And the thing is, I'm not judging. I was trying to give them help. As I said, I try to help people. And I feel I was getting played with. So I'm going to leave it there. And I'm going to share it in my groups. And hopefully for their sake, they weren't playing. Because if they were, they're going to get skewed. But anyway. I just hope everybody understands that there is things out there. And there's people out there that do care, and I do care, and it does mean a lot to me. And I don't make a joke out of this lightly. This is not something I take lightly either. This is my life. This is everything to me. And I don't understand why people want to make fun of this. And I never will understand it, but it's something I've dealt with for quite some time. So, um, once you've dealt with certain things like this, you kind of get used to it, but it's still concerning. Just everybody be safe and try to stay off the streets as much as possible. Stay on quarantine as much as you can. Limit your time off the roads. Do not give them a reason to beat the crap out of you because they are talking about putting military and cops out. And just stay off the roads. Stay home. Play your video games. Catch up on Netflix. Catch up on Hulu. Catch up on your cable. Catch up on TiVo. Rent movies. You can rent movies at home now. You don't have to go out. You don't have to go to the Red Box. Stay home. Order takeout. Quit looking for excuses to get out and waste gas. Stay home and enjoy your time. Be with your family. Quit looking for excuses to get yourself sick and try to be the next best thing on the news channel. And try to take care of your family. And hopefully I will get rid of my headache and be on here later to do a tarot card reading or read some runes and not get more crazy people on that try to argue the point with you that they don't need to go seek mental help when they need to. I'm just kind of in shock still, but I'll go ahead and end this video, and I hope that you guys liked and subscribed for the earlier content up until the last 20-30 minutes. Y'all have a blessed one, and I will catch y'all later. Bye.